Thank you all for joining the slow flow practice. This time of year is a good time to just kind of take a pause and let ourselves just drop into our bodies a little bit and kind of put some of that busyness aside and take a little bit of time to reconnect with ourselves. So we'll begin on the middle of our mats in Virasana, which is a seated pose on our shins. So you're going to let the tops of the feet rest on top of the mat. If you'd like to, you can use a block and place it between your ankles and sit on back. This is designed to take some of the pressure off your knees and your shins and the tops of your feet if you need that. Otherwise, you can just bring the shins to meet and go ahead and sit on back and on your heels. Really nice stretch for the quads, the kneecaps, and all of that going on in the front of the leg. Just allow your hands to rest gently in your lap. And take a moment to close the eyes and just let everything start to connect. I want you to be able to feel that connection of your sit bones to your heels, front of your feet, ankles, and shins, resting on the earth. The connection between your tailbone and the crown of the head and the spine, all along that central axis of your body. Allowing the shoulders to relax. Let your elbows go soft alongside of you. And just relax your jaw. Maybe even part the lips. Get a little softness in your face. And let's all take in a really big, deep breath. The biggest breath you've taken all day. Inhaling through your nose. Just fill yourself up as you let that breath drop deep and down into your hips. And then just sigh the breath out, let it go. Let's do that again. Big breath in, drawing that breath all the way down into the belly and expanding. And sigh the breath out, let it go. And then just allow yourself to come into a natural breath. Becoming the observer, the witness, as we drop out of our mind and into our body. This is really where the yoga begins, with the mind-body connection, shifting our energy out of the overthinking, ego-based mind and into the presence, compassion of our heart space, our bodies that contain that space. Let these breaths really fill you up. Feel the joy in breathing. Feel the joy in stillness. Notice how everything starts to align and kind of come together when we allow ourselves and give ourselves permission to take this pause. Everything starts to become clearer as we make our way into ourselves. Find peace and calm in your breathing. Just let a steady rhythm begin to take over, breathing in and out through your nose. As we practice this slow flow tonight, just honor your body, wherever it happens to be tonight. Reminding yourselves that this is a practice and that each time we come to the mat, we come to it in a different way. So serving ourselves and how we arrive tonight, let that be part of your intention, part of your goal tonight. Let's keep the eyes closed. You can turn your palms down or rest them in a different way, whatever feels comfortable, even dropping fingertips to the floor. And let's release the right ear to the right shoulder, beginning to stretch out our neck on the left side. Mindfully drop into that left shoulder and drop it down a little bit further as you stretch out that left side. Breathe into it with intention to release something, to release that tightness, to let something go that you may be holding on to unnecessarily. And then turn your chin towards your right armpit. Just a little bit different of a stretch here. Hold and breathe. Letting something go here, using that exhale to go a little bit deeper. And then we'll gently take a half sweep of the chin over to the left side, turning the chin towards the armpit. Left side now. Feeling that stretch through the right side of your neck, keeping the shoulders relaxed, the spine tall. And then turning left ear to left shoulder. So your chin points forward now. And you may feel this a little bit more deeply. Breathe into this side, not judging whether it feels worse or better than the other. It just is. And then we'll repeat that. Turn the chin down towards the left armpit. Take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, a little half arc over to the right side and hold, looking down towards the armpit. Breathe into the left side. And then on the exhale, right ear to right shoulder, turn the chin forward. Pause here, breathe in. On the exhale, turn your chin up towards the ceiling and then keep it going in a full rotation. Nice and slow, circling the head and the neck all the way around. Taking this with no rush, but rather with a sense of curiosity to see how it feels to be this present in feeling your neck tonight. Pause somewhere along your circle, either down or up, and then gently and mindfully change the direction. Keeping your eyes closed if you wish to really have a more internal experience of this, really feeling what's happening as we let something go with each exhale, as we create some space with each inhale. Draw yourself back to center, sitting upright. Let's extend our arms out to a T, bringing the palms facing down initially, and your shoulders and your wrists in line with each other. Flip the fingertips up and then actively press the palms away. So you're stretching out through the heels of your hand and you're trying to pull your fingertips back towards you. So if you're creaky like I am in the wrists, you're gonna feel this and it should feel pretty good. Now, fold the fingertips down and draw them in towards you. Just getting into the wrist flexor from the opposite direction. Relax your shoulder blades down your back. Maybe draw your belly button in closer towards your spine. Let's do that again. Inhale, let's flex the palms. Draw the fingertips back towards you, pressing the heels of the hands away. And then exhale, fold the fingertips down and draw them in towards you. Beautiful. Open your hands nice and wide, spread the fingers wide. Make a fist with each hand and start to roll your wrists out nice and slow. Just pick any direction. We're gonna go in both, but just stay with one for now. Nice and slow, feel that rotation. Begin to make a little bit bigger circles with the arms while you're still rotating the wrists. A little bit bigger. Feeling that It's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. Good. All right, come back to upright and switch the direction of your roll. Now that might take a little yoga of the brain to to feel if I'm doing it the other way. And then start to take it a little bit bigger with the arms. Making bigger circles while we're making micro circles with the wrists. Yes, feeling those shoulders starting to load up a little bit. Good. And then back to a T shape. Spread your palms open and turn them towards the camera. All fingers spread out, reach out. And then inhale, draw the shoulder blades onto the back. You can even look up here. So open up the front of your chest. As you exhale, you're going to round into yourself and pull your palms towards one another. Tuck your chin towards your chest. So you're going to scoop out your belly and feel your shoulder blades protract on your back. Let's do that again. Inhale, open nice and wide. Spread open, lift your heart, take your gaze up if you can. And then exhale as you round in, hug your navel towards your spine and feel the shoulder blades pull apart on your back. One more time, big breath in, open up. Man, this feels good. Enjoy your breath here. And then exhale as you round in, let those palms stretch forward. Stay here, interlace your hands, and then flip your palms away from you, pressing out through the heels of the hands. Stay tucked and rounded, giving an extra breath to your upper back, into your shoulders. And then inhale, pull the arms all the way up and overhead. And as you exhale, come up onto your shins. Good. Let's tuck those toes under. We're going to do a little toes pose to torture the feet, but it's going to feel so good. As you exhale, come on back, bringing your sit bones to your heels and release your arms down. If you need to make any adjustments, especially for those little pinky toes, tuck them all the way under. And then let's bring the arms out to a T one more time. If at any point you need to release from toes pose, of course, you know you can do that. Right arm forward, left on top. We're going to take that wrap for eagle arms here. So you can grab your wrist, you can grab opposite shoulders if that's a better class for you. Maybe you can find the double wrap and bring the palms together. Let's lift the elbows up to shoulder height. And then on the exhale, you're just going to drop your chin towards your chest. Actively press your forearms away from you and breathe some spaciousness into your upper back. Root down through your toes and appreciate the stretch you're getting in the bottom of your feet, right into the arch and the sole of the foot, all 10 toes. Good. Now let's inhale, unwind, open your arms wide, left fingertips to the floor. That right arm is going to come up and overhead for a side stretch here. How are those toesies doing? Are you breathing into them? Press down into that right sit bone and see if you can reach a little bit stronger out through your right fingertips. Breathe into that right side. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, let's cactus the arm. Turn the chest and look up towards the sky, pulling that elbow back and down. Another nice chest opener here. If it's too much to look up, let your head drop down. You can look down at the mat or forward, whatever feels good. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, bring yourself back and upright, adjusting the toes if you need to. We'll take this on the other side. Arms out to a T, left arm forward, right on top. Let's find the wrap. It could be a different positioning for you on this side, and that's cool. Take whatever works for you. We'll lift the elbows up to shoulder height. On an exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest and actively press those forearms away. Eagle arms, Garudasana in toes pose. Lots going on here, but we stay centered by focusing on our breath. right? We don't let the monkey mind take over. Instead, we turn to our breath. And the breath is what keeps us steady in the moment and present. So beautiful. Take another deep breath in. On the exhale, let's unwind. Right fingertips now to the floor. Left arm comes up and over. Nice big stretch all the way out through the fingertips as we root that left hip down. Maybe looking up. Feel your breath moving into your rib cage. And then fill yourself up, deep, deep breath. Exhale, half cactus of the arm and a turn of the chest up towards the sky. So pulling that elbow back and down, you should feel your whole collarbone and your chest area opening up here. Big, beautiful breath in. And then exhale, hallelujah. Let's come off those toes. Woo! All right, take a seated position and swing your legs all the way out in front of you. I have a little puppy here, so hopefully you can see me. He loves camera time and yoga mat time. So let's get into the hips and the hamstrings a little bit. Draw your right heel in, and then we're going to cross the leg over and see if you can bend the knee and stack it on top of your left. So this is a little half gomukasana pose. So that right heel is outside of your left hip. You're going to flex your left toes back towards you, and then maybe take your hands out to the side, sit upright if you're already feeling enough of a stretch in the outer right hip and in the left hamstring, or you start to walk it forward to go a little bit deeper. So I know for me, as soon as I start walking it forward, I feel an intensification both in the hamstring and in the right outer hip. So find a place that works for you and spend a few breaths here. So what we're doing is taking an external rotation of this right hip and thigh. We're working on stretching out that IT band, so that big hip stabilizing muscle. And the further we lean forward, the further we begin to deepen the stretch in our left hamstring. Try to stay as upright as possible as you lean forward. You can use a block if that helps. Alternatively, it's fine if you're up here. This is a big stretch, just as it is. So be kind to yourself, listen to your body. Remember to honor it wherever you are tonight. And then we'll release that, walk it back, and you're going to guide your right foot back behind you. So you're going to flip the toes back so they're pointing back behind you. You're going to snuggle your right heel to the outside of your right hip. So from forward position, it looks like this. This is half saddle pose. Big stretch for the quad and the knee. So if this feels like enough, hang out right here. But for my yogis who like a little extra, try to walk it on back. So now we're focusing on internal rotation of that hip and leg joint. And instead of going forward in a fold, we're leaning back into a back bend. So a nice counter pose from where we were. If your flexibility and your body allows, you're welcome to take it all the way back and land. And that right knee may pop up. If that happens, don't worry about it, right? This is a practice. And with consistency, you'll see that change, right? It'll eventually start working its way closer to the mat. But don't be hung up on it if it's not there right now. As long as it's not hurting, as long as you're not feeling anything tweaky, you're just getting a good stretch, that's awesome. Stay there and breathe wherever you may be. This may be stretching out your ankle, the front of your ankle, the front of your foot. Just send some nice positive breaths here and use the breath to really go into it. Feeling this out for you, where you are. I happen to love this stretch, but I notice when I don't do it on a regular basis, I get rusty, right? The knee tends to jump up, and that's okay, right? It's a practice. All right. If you have laid yourself back, use your elbows to help bring yourself up. Use your core muscles. Try not to yank your neck. Come on up and very gently lean off to the left side to release that leg long. Maybe give it a little bit of a shimmy. We'll take it on the other side. So drawing the left heel in, go ahead and stack left knee over right as you snuggle your right heel or left heel into your right hip. Flex your right toes back towards you. Try to anchor the back of that right leg to the mat. And then maybe sit upright for a few breaths, feeling out this side, or exploring taking it a little bit deeper. So this is my more flexible side. So I feel I can get into this pose with more ease on this side. So maybe I want to explore going a little bit deeper with my forward fold, but you'll all figure it out for yourselves and where you are. Try to actively draw your right toes back towards you. That's going to deepen the stretch into your hamstring and your calf. And just breathe, nice deep breaths into wherever you're feeling it. Externally rotating our left hip and thigh, feeling into that joint, and then lengthening that hamstring. Good, we'll walk ourselves back, and then you're going to guide that left foot to the outside of your left hip with the toes pointing back towards you, back behind you, excuse me. Right toes pull towards you. And again, this may be enough, or you may want to explore going back. The further you lean back, the deeper the stretch is going to be. So take your time. Don't be in a rush to go there, but maybe give it a try, right? We never know until we kind of explore how our bodies are going to react. So again, you don't need to hang up your thoughts or, be worried about that knee being off the ground. That may just be where you are, and that's fine. But remembering that consistency does help us with our practice. And the more we come back to it and the more we practice a certain pose, it comes with ease. You'll find yourself, you'll find that one day you'll be in that pose that gave you so much of a challenge. And then one day it'll just be like, oh, wow, this feels awesome. And that's what's so fun about yoga. You kind of never lose that, right? It's always a journey and a wonderful exploration as well. Maybe close your eyes, sending some intentional breaths into wherever you may be feeling it on this side. This is a big stretch for that left front of hip and quad and knee. So be generous with your breath. Good, and then we'll come up with control. So pressing into the elbows if you've gone all the way back. Use your core muscles. Crawl your way back and up. Lean off to the right and extend that left leg forward. Give it a little shake, a little wiggle. Let some of the blood come back into the lower extremities. And then we'll go ahead and flip ourselves over, coming into a tabletop position. So let's do a few rounds of cow and cat, because it's so delicious and your spine loves it. Stack your hips over your knees and your shoulders right over your wrists. Fan your fingers out nice and wide. Kind of cup your palms, almost like suction cups. And then as you breathe in, let your belly drop, let your tailbone lift, pull your heart through your shoulders, and then peel the crown of the head up towards the sky. On the exhale, with control, drop your tailbone down, lift your belly button up, and tuck your chin to your chest as you press through your hands. Moving between the two, let's inhale, sync up your breath. Let the breath fill up your pose. And then exhale, flexing the spine, tucking and rounding. See if you can suck your belly button up towards your spine and retract your shoulder blades on your back. Again, inhale, lengthen out. Open up the chest, roll your shoulder heads back and down. And then exhale, tuck and round with control. Press into your hands, bring your chin towards your chest, round, round, round. Let's do one more. Big breath in, lengthen, soften the ribs. And then exhale, contract. Pull everything in, tuck chin towards chest. Good, come to neutral spine. Walk your hands a palm print forward and let's tuck those toes under. Lift your kneecaps and drive your heels back. So you want to feel your legs nice and engaged here. Imagine you're squeezing a block between your thighs. Now take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press your chest back towards your thighs, but stay low with those knees hovering over the mat. Good, inhale back to tabletop, keeping the legs engaged. And then exhale, pressing rib cage back to thighs. This time as you inhale, start to straighten the legs. And as you exhale, press your heels towards the mat, coming into your first downward facing dog. Take a moment here to settle in, whatever that means for you. It could be movement and pedaling out your legs. It could be stillness. Just explore something in down dog and let it be an expression of what your body needs. So one of the big things in yoga that we practice is listening to our bodies. So tonight your body could maybe really need some movement. Maybe it just needs to be in stillness as you work your breath, as you press forward and down into your hands, as you send your ribs back towards your thighs and you press those thigh bones back towards the back of the mat. Let's lift our right leg up now, reach it high, bend the knee and go ahead and open up your hip. So you can stay here or we can add a little bit extra by coming onto the right fingertips. So you're kind of spidering your hand. Maybe you turn your chest and your gaze up and underneath that right arm, going a little bit deeper into that right side. Breathing it open, see if you can press your left heel further down towards the mat. One more nice breath in here. On the exhale, look forward and place your right foot outside, nice and wide, of your right hand. And let's lower the back knee down, coming into a lizard pose. Untuck the toes or keep them tucked if you feel a little bit more stable. But we want this nice wide position in our lunge here. Maybe come up onto fingertips, or you could use a block if you need to elevate the chest. So you want to lift your heart, look forward, let your shoulders relax down your back. Send your breath and awareness into your hips, especially on this right side and the front of the left hip as you begin to open it up. Nice deep breaths here. Make sure your right knee and ankle are aligned and stacked. We'll add a very simple twist. So place your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Take your right hand to your thigh. Now your toes and your knees are still going to be pointing forward. We're not going to turn them. Instead, we're going to press our hand into our thigh and let that help us rotate from our navel center. So you're just drawing the belly button, the ribs, and the shoulders to the right, keeping everything else the same with your foundation. Really press into your thigh and see if you can go a little bit deeper. Pull your right hip back, right? Feel that. And then really soften into your left hip crease. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. And then exhale it out. Release the twist. Bring the hand down inside of your right foot. And let's shift the hips back, straightening that right leg. So we're still in that wider position, now going for our half split. This back knee and hip should be stacked. So if you're doing this, try to wiggle that right foot forward so that you're at a 90 degree with that back leg. If you feel like you want a deeper stretch, pull those right toes back towards you. I'm feeling it. I hope you guys are feeling it. Yeah. And if you'd like to go deeper, left hand once again to the mat. Let's take a twist open to the right. You'll feel this in your IT band. Yes. Keep pulling that right hip back, drawing the right sit bone back and down, and then turning the chest, stacking from wrist to wrist. Beautiful. Good, let's release. Bend into that front knee. Bring the right hand inside of the right foot. Lift your left kneecap. So you're on the ball of the left foot. We're gonna take a quarter turn to the left and spin your left heel all the way down. Walk your hands out at about a 45-degree angle. And then as you walk the hands away from you, send your chest away from you, but push into your finger pads and shift your hips back. So kind of think of downward dog in a lunge, maybe a little bit of a puppy pose with the upper body as you're trying to stretch chest forward, but press hips back. This is a really deep stretch into the groin and the hips, so breathe into it, relax your head and neck. Let something go here, guys. And stay connected to your breath, nice and deep. Good. All right. Slowly walk the hands back. Pivot back to the top of your mat. Drop the left knee down and take the right knee back to meet the left. Take a moment in child's pose. Just shifting the sit bones back towards the heels, keeping the arms extended out in front of you, and take a few breaths here, breathing deeply into your backside. Maybe do a little body scan and just notice how you feel on this, after this side, and how your body is beginning to open. Good, let's look forward, lifting the head, find downward facing dog. Big breath out. Lifting the left leg up now, let's bend the knee as we open the hip. Drive your right heel to the floor as you straighten that right leg. Option to stay here or to come up onto the left finger pads and then take a little twist underneath your left arm. So roll the chest around, feel that deeper stretch along the left side of the body. Breathe into it. Say hi to your armpit. Love your body, all of it. Good, and then let's look forward and take a big step to the outside of your left hand and let that right knee drop down, untuck the toes, coming into lizard on this side. Find a block if you need to bring your chest upright. Otherwise, do the best that you can to let everything kind of melt down as the chest lifts up. Right away, you may feel that this side is really different from the other. While you're here, check for your alignment with your knee over your ankle. Nice deep breaths here. Opening up to the pose. And then bringing right hand underneath right shoulder, the left hand to the thigh. The knee and the toes point towards the top of your mat. Pushing into the thigh, rotate from your belly button and turn your chest to the left. You're going to push into that right hand as well. So keep your right hand straight. Feel this beautiful rotation all along the length of the spine into our internal organs. Maybe this side comes with a little bit more ease, maybe a little more challenge. Either way, we're still breathing. Good, one more breath in. On the exhale, we release, bringing that left hand inside. Maybe tuck the back toes as we shift that front leg to straight, hips glide back. Breathe into your half split, Ardha Hanumanasana on this side. Maybe pull toes back towards you. Wow. Hello, left hamstring. Try to drag your left hip back, right? We don't want it winging out to the side, but pull it in and back. Really getting in there. If you want to go deeper, right hand under right shoulder. Again, from the navel center, let's twist open, bringing that left arm up. As you roll your right ribs underneath you, lifting that left arm, feeling everything that's going on, staying in it, courtesy of our breathing. Overcoming that monkey mind, take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to rebend the knee and take the hands inside. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee, and start to walk out 45 degrees as you lower that right heel all the way down. So coming into our lunge on this side. I'll turn so you can see me. Walk it out about 45 degrees and then hands in line with your shoulders. Stretch it out. Drop your chest down. Press your hips back. Really anchor through your right leg and your right foot. Stay bent in your left knee. As your heart draws forward, your hips press back. Really active, deep stretch here. Take a full breath in. See if you can stretch it out a little bit more. Exhale it out. On the next breath in, walking the hands in, pivot back towards the top of your mat, and then drop the right knee. The left knee comes back to meet it. Let's take that puppy pose now. So walk your hands forward and just let your chest melt down, keeping your hips stacked over your knees. So let the chest sink. Feel a nice stretch on the shoulder blades, the upper back, maybe your forehead reaches towards the mat. Oh, beautiful pose. Opening up our heart, Anahatasana. And then glide yourself forward onto your forearms and your belly. And take your hands wide off the mat. Get onto your fingertips, little spidey fingers, and bring your elbows to stack over your wrists. Root down through the tops of your feet and the front of your thighs and your pubic bone. And inhale as you press into your finger pads, rise up. Drop the tailbone down, lift out of your low back. Breathe spaciousness across your chest. Feel that lengthening from your belly button to your heart. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, lower yourself down nice and slow, as if you were laying each bone down at a time. Rise up again, inhale. And then on the exhale, drop your right shoulder to the middle of the mat and turn and look over your left. Pause here and breathe into the stretch you're feeling in the front of your right shoulder. Keep your legs active. Inhale, come up through center, lift high. Exhale, other side. Drop the left shoulder and turn to look over the right. Pause and breathe into what you're feeling on this left side. Oh yeah. And then inhale, rise up through center, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale to take it all the way down. Beautiful. Make your way back to downward facing dog so you can come through hands and knees, up through plank, press it on back. Take a deep breath in. Let it go with a ha. Beautiful. Now walk the hands back towards the feet, forward fold at whatever end of the mat you're on. I don't know. I keep walking around myself, but let's just fold here. Keep a soft bend in your knees and gently allow the crown of the head to point itself down towards the floor. So you want to get long in the back of your neck, long in the whole back chain of your body. Let everything go. If a little movement feels natural or organic, perhaps a sway from side to side, and shake everything out. letting it all go. This is like a great place to kind of dump any stress or anxiety or tension that you have. Just let it flow off your back, through your head, through your feet, releasing it all down towards the earth. Now take a moment, press your finger pads into the mat. Heel toe your feet out nice and wide with the toes turned out. And you know where we're headed, Yogi Squat. Bend the knees and drop the tailbone down. Let your elbows find your inner knees. Press your palms together in front of your heart and breathe. As you settle into the pose, feel your tailbone dropping a little bit more and your heart lifting a little bit more. Try to line it up with your thumbs. If a twist or some other variation on the pose is calling you here, please feel free to go there. It might feel really nice, or maybe just stillness and breath and focus, awareness is right where you need to be tonight. This is a super grounding pose. So feel that connection that you're getting with the earth. Imagine you had a tail coming off your tailbone and it was rooting itself into the ground. Feel the weight. This is what we need in this season of busyness, of lots of people time, with time where we're sending our energy constantly out, out, out. This is where we need to come to bring it back in. Take another deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll release the fingertips to the mat and slowly, slowly, slowly come back into your forward fold. Heel toe your feet in, back underneath the hips, and then gently walk it out back to downward facing dog. Take a nice full breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. And then we'll lift the right leg up, reach it towards the sky. On the exhale, step it through up to the thumb and spin the back heel down, 45-degree angle for warrior one pose. Get your legs and your foundation nice and strong, and then use your core muscles to rise up. Check with your alignment, that right knee, right over that right ankle. A nice, strong, straight back leg, pressing into the outer edge of your back foot. Hands to hips can help guide that right hip back and the left hip slightly forward. Take your arms up and overhead. Gaze forward, drop those inner shoulders down and breathe. Feel your foundation rooting you to the mat. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel your stamina building as we hold and breathe. Good, now inhale, we'll straighten the front leg. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. On the exhale, lean way out and reach forward. As far as you can go and then a little bit further. Flip your palms away from you and swim your arms back behind you and take a clasp of your hands. If this doesn't feel good, grab opposite elbows or keep your hands on your hips, whatever feels good. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back, big breath in. And then on the exhale, hold any amount. Now this is gonna go deep into that right hamstring. So breathe into it. Press into the big toe mound of your right foot and into the outer edge of your left foot. Nice deep breaths here, stay focused. Feel the wobbles, there they are, feel the shakes. One more breath in, beautiful work guys. Exhale, let the hands come down, soften into that front knee. Pivot to the long left side of your mat. Heel toe your feet out nice and wide and pigeon toe them here. Let's take a wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Tanasana. Let the crown of the head drop down. Engage your legs. So feel them working for you. Maybe tilt your weight a little bit onto the toes, a little bit further forward. Nice. Easy breaths here. If you'd like, take a twist by walking your hands over to your right shin, grabbing on with both hands and pulling your forehead towards your knee. You can go deeper here by hanging on with the left hand, letting the right arm come up and rotating the chest around. You could take a half bind by bringing the back of that right hand to the sacrum or to the left hip crease if you want to get a nice shoulder opener. Kind of play around with it if it feels good. Keep the legs steady, keep pressing into your feet, lifting the tailbone up. Big breath in. As we exhale, release it down. Pivot the right toes back to the top of the mat, soften into that right knee, step back, downward facing dog. If you are craving doing a vinyasa, this would be the time to come forward into plank, lowering down to the belly or halfway down, taking a back bend, and then meeting back in downward facing dog, your choice. But for me, a nice slow flow means no chaturangas tonight. We'll take this on the left side. Lift your left leg up, reach it high. Feel that beautiful stretch. On the exhale, left foot to left thumb, and then that right heel spins down, angling the toes at 45 degrees. Take a nice deep rooting into the legs and rise up, bringing yourself into Vira 1. I always like to bring my hands to my hips, so it helps me to find that rotation to get myself set up, and then allows me to really feel the work that my back leg is doing, which allows me then the freedom to drop in a little bit more into that front knee. So come wherever feels best for you, and when you feel settled, bring the arms overhead. Keep those fingertips active up in the sky, right? We want energy shooting through the fingertips, energy rooting down through the legs, nice and strong. Good, one more breath in. And then on the exhale, we're gonna straighten that front leg. Now reach out, squaring the hips a little bit more. Go as far forward as you can. Flip the palms away from you. And then swim the arms back to find your clasp. If you did one thumb on top, switch it out to do the other. Take opposite elbows, whatever you would like. Take a deep breath in as you send your shoulder blades onto your back. And then on the exhale, we're gonna fold any amount that we can. Your left hip will wanna draw out to the left. Keep inviting it back towards the midline. Feeling the legs working nice and hard here. Breathe into them equally. Press into them equally. Beautiful. Take one more deep breath in. And then exhale to lower the hands down. We'll soften into the front knee and step the right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. Let everything go. Round down evenly through both feet. Let your upper body get really heavy here. And feel the stretch on the back side of your legs. Maybe you're feeling more open and you can go a little bit deeper. You might want to wrap your hands behind your ankles or calves, grab your wrists and pull in a little bit closer. Only if that's available to you, only if it feels good. Good, and then release that. Take a slow roll to stand. So press into your feet, little soft bend in the knees. Take your time to come up as if you would be penalized for missing one little bone. Take your time, hit every bone, rolling yourself up to stand. Let's roll out the shoulders just a little bit, letting everything go. All right, the practice would not be complete without a little bit of balance work. So let's do some balancing. We're gonna stand on our right leg and I'll offer two options. The more moderate one would be tree pose. So you could bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of your right leg, somewhere along the line. The more challenging pose would be to bring ankle to thigh, drawing the knee out and away from you. Hands can begin in prayer pose, and then you're going to begin to bend into that right knee and sit your hips back and down. So we're standing, we're balancing, we're opening the hips, we're working our core. We are multitasking in yoga here. Try to draw that left knee out and away from you. Keep your left foot flexed. Dropping down as you begin to open up. Ooh, stay steady and stay focused with your breath. A smile helps. Smile definitely helps. Take one more breath in here. Good work wherever you are, guys. And then on the exhale, come on up, release and let it go. So in this case, we do want to practice what we did on the one side on the other. So if it was tree, make your way into tree pose. If it was figure four, let's bring that right ankle to the left thigh. You can begin by inviting that knee out and away from you. Hands come to your heart center. And let's slowly bend into that knee, dropping the hips back and down. I do enjoy this pose. I like the way it makes my outer hips feel. I like the way it makes my hip stabilizers feel. One I'm stretching, one I'm strengthening. And the balance challenge is really healthy for us, especially as we age. You know, we really need to get into the ankles and the feet. Woo, and use our core. So as soon as you turn on your core, you'll notice a big change in your practice and in each pose. It's incredibly helpful. Good. Don't worry if you fall out. It's our teaching opportunity. You just learned from falling. That's all it is. And then let's inhale, rise up wherever you are. And then exhale, let that all go. All right. Hoorah. Way to go, guys. Back to the top of the mat. Let's make our way down. So bring the arms up and overhead. Big stretch. Reach for the sky. Take the fingertips as high as you can go. And then exhale. Fold it all the way forward. Take your yogi toe lock and grab your big toes. Peace fingers to the toes. Breathe in and pull your chest forward as you pull up on your toes. And then as you breathe out, bow in, pull the elbows out to the side and pull up on those toes. Drawing your chest close to the thighs. Drawing your nose close to your knees, relaxing the crown of the head down, big stretch into the hamstrings and the backside. Press your toes towards the floor and then pull up on them at the same time with your fingers, creating a little traction. Take one more breath in and then exhale. Let all that go. Fingertips to the mat in front of you. Lift up onto your toes, lifting your heels. Bend the knees and drop down into a little ball shape. Tucking your chin towards your chest. Press the tops of your feet forward, stretch into your feet one last time here. Let your tailbone relax down, round your spine. Make as much of a ball shape as you can here. Beautiful. And then on the exhale, walk it back and lower right on down to your sit bones. Good. So extend your right leg out and just tuck your left foot under. So your left knee is bent, your left foot is kind of underneath you. And you're going to walk your right foot in. Interlace your hands underneath the sole of your foot. And then just gently begin to extend it out. This is called heron pose. So one last yummy stretch for our hamstrings. So we don't want to do this round back. We would like to be in this position. Lift your heart, press your heel out and away from you. Look out past your toe tips. And you're sitting up nice and tall and proud and enjoying the length, right, and the spaciousness that we created in this class, all into that beautiful hamstring, our foundation, So nice. Good, and we'll take a little twist here by taking our left hand and reaching for the outside of that right foot. I'm gonna turn so you can see me here. Reach for the outside and then release your right hand and sweep it back for a twist. So turn your chest to the right. Try to bring your arms in line with each other. Drive that right heel away, push it away, and then maybe turn all the way back to look back at your right thumb. Another big stretch here, the outer hip. Big, beautiful breath in. Now on the exhale, turn back. We're gonna bring that right heel to the outside of our left thigh. So coming into Ardha Matsyendrasana, our seated twist. See how my right sit bone is hiked up? We wanna work that down to the mat so that our sit bones are level. Then our right hand will come back behind us. You're gonna place it kind of at the base of your spine, right by your sacrum. Press into it, lift your chest like a little kickstand. And then your left arm can either wrap across the front of your shin or that elbow is gonna hook outside of your knee. Take a beautiful breath in and lengthen your spine, get long. And then as you exhale, go ahead and twist. Maybe look over your right shoulder, root down through your right foot. Soften your sit bones to the mat. As you breathe in, you get tall. And as you breathe out, you try to find a little depth into your twist. Good. Nice breath in. And then on the exhale, slowly unwind. Lean back. Let's go ahead and shake the legs out, lengthen them out in front of you. And we'll take that sequence on the other side. So that right heel comes in, you're gonna bend the right knee. Slide the left heel in, interlace your foot underneath, your hands underneath your foot. And then as you feel ready, just extend the leg out into heron pose. So don't worry if your leg doesn't look straight, doesn't need to be. What we really wanna have is a nice straight spine, a lifted heart. If your knee needs to be bent, you're still benefiting from the pose. Set your intention to breathe into it, to find that space, and keep your heart lifted. Maybe a little extra press of the heel away from you as you feel your body opening up. Good. Now, take your right hand, reach for the outer edge of your left foot, and then press that leg to straight as you sweep your left arm back behind you. So opening up to the long side of your mat, squaring the chest and shoulders as much as you can. Drive that left heel away from you as you turn to look back at your left thumb. Feeling the twist right through the middle of the body. Keep that left leg engaged. One more beautiful breath in. And then on the exhale, come back, bend the knee, and then go ahead and just plant that left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Again, my left sit bone is hiked up, so I want to even it out, level it out, pressing it down. You may need to adjust accordingly. Left hand back behind you at the base of the spine, right arm up. And then go ahead and either find your twist by wrapping your shin, drawing the knee towards you, or taking the elbow outside of the knee. Breathing in to lengthen your spine. You really want to create that space before you twist. And then exhale, take your twist. Not judging how deeply you're twisting, but really paying attention more to the quality of your breath. Finding a smooth and steady rhythm that assists you in the twist. Oh, beautiful. One more breath in. And then exhale to let that go. Woo. Lean back and go ahead and shake out your legs. So if you have your two blocks, this is the last pose I'd like to put you in before Shavasana. You're going to place one block on the medium height the long way in the middle of the mat or towards the middle. And then the second block is going to be away from it on the high height. So the middle one is going to be about where your mid-back or bra strap is. And then this one is going to cradle the back of your head. So let me show you how it looks, and hopefully I've got it lined up just right. Okay, there's my bra strap, yay. Block number one is in good position. And then I'm going to lean back and rest my skull, the back of my skull, on the second block. So you can see in this position, it's opening up my chest in a big way, the front of the shoulders. I'm going to take my arms out with the palms face up. You could leave your knees bent. You could bring the knees in to meet. You could extend your legs out. Now, if you don't have the two block situation at home, simply roll up a towel or a blanket or another mat, make a nice burrito roll, and you're going to lay it down in the center of your mat, the full length of your spine. You're going to snuggle your sit bones up to the back of it, and you're going to lean back onto the blanket. So it's going to create like a roll, a cylinder along the length of your spine, and then you'll be able to open up your chest there and that way. So just take a few breaths. I invite you to close your eyes here and really let your body fall into the pose. So try to release a gripping sensation of any kind. Instead, really trust your foundation, trust your blocks, trust the earth below you. Let yourself really yield into the pose. And there's a magic here. This heart opening, chest opening is so perfect for this time of year, right? If we're in the cold climate, we're kind of hunched over. So we could really use this opening to counteract that. If we're working over computers and driving a lot, the same thing. We need to reopen our chests. And then in the spirit of the season, it's so nice to have an open heart, right? To be going through life feeling like you're full of joy. Your heart is free. There's space there. There's light, right? And this pose really assists in bringing all of those sensations and qualities in. So let yourself just melt into it. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. This could be your shavasana right here. If it's not your cup of tea and you just like to go into shavasana, please make your way there. Wherever you are, let your body get fully relaxed. Let go of any breath control and simply let your breath breathe you. Unattach from any needs, any expectations, any commitments, other than to commit to being in the present moment. All you need to know is what's happening right now, and this is where you should be. Honor yourself, honor your body, give yourself permission to be here. Relax your jaw. Soften your fingers and toes. Let go of any worries or cares. Be here in the bliss of stillness. Let your body rest in this pose, but slowly bring your awareness back in. Or invite in the sounds around you. Invite in how you feel. Take note of sensation, temperatures. See if you can notice the difference between now and when you first got onto your mat. Appreciating the shifts, noticing what's changed, letting it put a beautiful smile on your face. We'll gently ease the eyes open. To come out of the pose, you may want to stretch your legs long. You may want to keep the knees bent. Bring your arms alongside of you. Tuck your chin towards your chest and slowly roll yourself up and back to your seat. We'll close out the practice in a seated position, bringing our hands together to meet in front of our heart. Let your eyes close. So taking that pause, finding that stillness, that's your secret weapon for getting through not only the holidays, but every day, right? Dropping in, taking that moment to reconnect to ourselves, our breath, and to that beautiful space within us, our heart space. Finding time when we need it, knowing that it's only a moment away. Let's bring our thumbs to our third eye center and bow to the light within us all. Namaste.
Namaste.
As always, my yogis, an honor and a pleasure to guide you being here tonight. I hope that served you, and take it through the holidays. I look forward to seeing you again.
Good class.